How's it going, everyone? Hope y'all are doing wonderful today. We're gonna be getting back into some more Trails in the Sky. Second chapter, as usual. Also, fucking play a short hike if you haven't. Go play a short hike. It's a good game. It's like 4 hours long. Go fucking play it. What are you waiting for? It is literally like, let me see. How much is that? That wonderful ass game. Let me see. How much does it cost? Where is it at? I know it's here somewhere. Am I dumb? Am I blind? I know it's in my library. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, how much is this game? It's $8. Go fucking spend $8. It's a wonderful $8. Genuinely, such a fucking amazing game. Go play it. I have the vinyl, and there is a reason. Especially for a 4-hour game. Only they would fucking reprint the Sayonara Wild Hearts fucking vinyl. I need that. Ah. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be back in more some more Trails in the Sky. Cannot speak. Today's been a long day. A long day, but a good day. But yeah, nonetheless, let's go ahead and get this started. Let me just boot up the game real quick. Where it at? Trails in the Sky SC. Let me be sure to launch the config tool just so that my controller works. I'm glad I launched the config tool because my dumbass forgot to turn on the controller beforehand, so it would have broken. Okay. That should work now. Cool. Alright. That should all be good. Go ahead and start up the game. There we go. So is it just me or does it feel like the game's too quiet now? I don't know. Last time I had to adjust it down a bunch, but maybe it is fine. It might just be the menu. I think it's just the menu. Anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and get her going. We were left off. We were about to go to Marcia Orphanage. That's it. So let's go ahead and head right in. Good to be back here. Holy. Okay, this is a surprise. Managed to turn that black stain on the ground into this that quick? I think they built the building the same way, just, newer. Oh, thank the goddess. This is so wonderful. Estelle? Hi, Matron Teresa. Yes, I thought it was you. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you. And you are Agate, yes? That's right. Been a while, ma'am. We last met during that mess with Clem, yes. It really has been a while. Thank you so much for your help back then. Don't sweat it, really. I'm just sorry I haven't stopped by since then. Congratulations on getting the orphanage rebuilt. I'm amazed. It looks pretty much exactly how it used to be, too. I know it sounds silly to ask them to build it that way, but everyone was kind enough to humor me. I can't imagine this orphanage looking any other way. It just wouldn't be the same. Yeah, I think you're right. So, are the kids inside? Ah, no, they're actually out in Minoria for class. A traveling priest comes by once a week and holds Sunday school for us, you see. Oh, okay, that's a bit of a problem, though. You see, we actually want to ask the kids about something on top of just saying hello. Oh? What does this have to do with the white man Polly saw? With the white man, ah, yes. Ah, probably, yeah. I see, so it was Polly who saw the person thing. I always did peg her as a sharp one. Well, come inside. You can wait here until they return. I do have some tea on the kettle and a few snacks, too. Thanks. What's up? To you, not your thing? Matron Teresa? You're not gonna ask about Joshua, are you? Ah, Chloe already told me everything. She worries easily and she needed to unburden her soul onto someone when she found out. Estelle, you've been through so much. Come on. If you say things like that, I can't hold it in. You don't need to hold it in. You shouldn't. I'm all too familiar with how it feels to lose someone important. Now, don't say anything. I may not be able to be a mother for you, but at the very least I can hold you for a little while. Well, that was embarrassing. And here I was wanting to show up and show how I'm a big, tough bracer woman now. That's right, you are a senior bracer now, aren't you? Congratulations, Estelle. Well, I'm still kind of green, to be honest. Speaking of my little crying jag, though. Teresa, you mentioned that Chloe was worried about us? Yes, about you and Joshua specifically. She saw her precious friends suffering and felt powerless to do anything for them. She struggled with it. She desperately wants to help you. Precious friends? I feel kinda awful she's been tearing herself up so much over it. But I'm glad she cares. I really need to go see her soon. I believe the Genus campus is closed off to visitors right now due to the end of term exams. Those should be over soon though, and you can see her then. Sounds like a plan. Also, you know, the kids are a little bit late, aren't they? I don't remember Sunday school taking this long. They may be playing in the village after class. The new traveling priest who's been coming by does seem like he's fond of children. A new traveling priest, huh? Hey, why does that sound familiar? We should head over to Minoria to check on him then. We'll bring the kids back if need be. Good idea. Are you sure? I wouldn't want to trouble you. No problem. Think of it as thanks for the great tea and snacks. Besides, you were a big one for letting you cry like that, right? Hey! Thank you so much. I'll be waiting here for your return. I really probably should have like warmed up my voice because it definitely is not prepared, but oh well. Sunday school over at Minoria Village should be finished soon. I'm sorry, but could you bring back the children? Sure. On the case. I don't remember if you can get eggs from the chickens by talking to them in this one. Can I just say how much I appreciate that in like every single Falcom game that I've played, they let you interact with the animals. Matron still blows me away. I was impressed with her before, but man, can't help but feel humbled by women like that, you know? Queen's the same way. You too, Agate? Yeah, she kind of reminds me of Mom that way. Oh yeah, the old man's wife. She died during the war, didn't she? Agate, something wrong? Nah, just women are strong, you know? Stronger than you'd think. What's this all of a sudden? Let it go. I'm rambling or something. Come on, let's go collect the kids from Minoria. This is nice. I'm very glad I'm taking Agate along this time, because this is actually super nice getting to see like little tiny bits of character development out of him like that. I love it. And here's Minoria. Haven't been here since that whole stolen donations thing. Still quiet as a church, it looks like. Agate, we literally walked through here like 10 minutes ago. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I like it. Your hometown of Ravenou was pretty quiet too, if I remember right. I guess. Anyway, kids should be at Sunday school somewhere in the village. Let's look for them. Alright. Off we go. Oh. This is... Huh? What's up? Oh, Joshua and I had lunch here a while back, you see? It just came back to me is all. Ah, right. Don't be like that. It's not like it's a memory of some great tragedy or anything. Just a kid who didn't really understand her own feelings. Totally forced Joshua to let me feed him, not even caring if anyone saw. Must have been really sick of me even then. You're still a kid if you ask me. How about it? Need a sec? No, I can't stop now. Can't let myself stop now. Besides, we need to find that Sunday school, right? Alright, let's go. Sunday school class in session. Oh, hey, here's the Sunday school. Given that the sign's still up, I guess they're still in class? Could be. Let's take a look inside. Might have finished for the day and just forgot to take down the sign, too. Good idea. Let me peek. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait a sec. I know that guy. Hi, Kevin. They do not deserve your sympathy. In truth, Pedro did not think Duke Gaston would back down easily. And what of the machinations of the foul-masked puppeteer, Harlequin? Capri, Pedro's teacher, seemed to know the gesture, but simply dodged any questions about him with frustrating vagueness. Regardless, Pedro knew another battle would come, and soon. He would have to upgrade the Blue Knight if he hoped to emerge victorious. Oh, Pedro. A slightly irradiated yet comforting voice snapped Pedro from his reverie. Do you wish for your tea to grow cold? The clear blue eyes which met his own carried their own message. It will be all right. Pedro, a little embarrassed, took his tea and drank deeply. It was enough to simply have this moment with her. The end. That's the Doll Knight, kids. What? That's it? But what about the fight with Harlequin? Oh, Clem, you're such a dummy. That's a wonderful ending. And, you know, you just know Pedro and Tia go on to get married and live happily ever after. Ah, so romantic. Yeah. You gotta get married and be happy. I want some of that tea. Capri is so cool. All 22 chapters of the Doll Knight in one sitting for a bunch of rambunctious kids. You want to talk challenges. Alright, kiddos, that's enough for one day. Class is over. Aww. Thank you for teaching us, Mr. Graham. Okay, never underestimating this group of kids again. Oh, who's at the door? Class just wrapped up, so come on in. You noticed me? I guess I stuck my nose in a little too far. Sorry for intruding. Huh? Hey. What? Estelle? Hi, kids. It's great to see you again. Are you guys doing okay? Holy moly, did you come to play? Oh, this is great. It's been forever. Miss Estelle, play with me. Me. Welcome back. Well, you haven't lost any energy, it seems. And Father Kevin, it's been a while. Ah, she remembers me. Of course I do. Wow, though, you really are a priest despite that getup. Really, why all the hate on my awesome duds? Well, hey, what are the chances we'd meet again, here of all places? Could this be fate? Ah, I see. So you've met Father Kevin before, Estelle. The world really is a small place. I know, right? Craziness. Thanks for the lunch, by the way. It was excellent. No, it's no trouble. Besides, it's the least I can do in return for what you've done for the children. Hey, Estelle. How come Josh was not with you today? You see, he's pretty busy with something, so he couldn't come today. Aw, too bad. Oh, I wanted Joshua to see the orphanage all fixed up, too. Me too. I wanted to see him dressed up like a princess again. So pretty. Anyway, you guys were in Sunday school for a while. What was that you were reading when we came in? Some kind of novel? It's called The Doll Knight. It's an awesome action story about fights between puppeteers. Oh, no, it wasn't. Sword for Brains. It was a romance with desperate love between a noble lady and a common man. Desperate love. It's a young adult novel series I brought with me when I came to Liberl. I'd planned on reading it to the kids a little at a time, but they convinced me to do it all in one go. Whew. I guess the way you caught up and stuff kind of backfired there. Well, thank you for your devotion, Father Kevin. You'll be heading back to Ruan now, I take it? Yeah, next logical stop, really. Got other villages to visit, so I'll need to hop on an airship soon. Speaking of, how come you're in Ruan yourself, Estelle? Bracer business, I assume? Yeah, there's a lot going on. Wait, on that note, we came here to ask about something. I believe you wanted to ask about the white man Polly saw. I still can't get over the fact that they're saying... I don't know, it's just funny. Everyone else is just called like a white specter, and then it's just white man. Oh yeah, that thing. Do you want to ask me stuff? Yes, Polly, we have a question. Can you tell us about the white man you saw a little while ago? The white man was a white... Hold up, I'm just gonna screenshot that. Send that to myself. I actually have it saved. That's a good out of context quote. He was spinning like a top and it was neato and fun. We were hoping for a bit more. Let me try and explain a bit better. It was about 4 days ago. Polly was outside just kind of spacing out, which is, you know, usual for her. And then she saw a white man floating in the air. Yeah, he was dancing around in circles in the sky. And when I tried talking to him, he bowed and flew away like a birdie. You were totally asleep when you dreamed up the whole thing. I mean, come on, that is the lamest ghost story ever. I thought she might be dreaming at first as well, but it seems someone else saw it too. Right, Daniel? Yeah, I only saw a little though. That night I saw a weird white shadow flying off to the east. A white shadow, okay. Well, with 2 kids seeing it, I'm a lot more inclined to believe it. The hell's up with just bowing when spoken to, though? Hey, Polly, did you get a good look at his face? I don't know what his face looks like. He was wearing a weird mask. A mask? The hell kind of ghost wears a mask? Hey, Polly, you need to say this stuff. Never mentioned that before. But nobody asked. Well, masks aside, it seems that it wasn't just a dream. Once Daniel told me about it, I contacted the Bracer Guild just in case. Been watching for it since then, but there's been no sign of it. Well, thanks for your time, ma'am. This gives us a lot to think about. Indeed it does. Estelle, Agate, whenever you're in Ruan, you're more than welcome to stop by. Father, I'll see you the next time there's a class, I hope. Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. I'll drop by every time I have a chance. See you, Father Kevin. You too, Estelle. And bring Joshua next time, too. Yeah. I don't know when I'll be back, but we will come to see you again. Man, those kids are energetic. Gotta wonder, though, whether their matron qualifies for sainthood. Every single one of them was among the most polite, wonderful kids I've ever met. Yeah, Matron Teresa's amazing. There's actually another girl who helps out here, too. She's busy with her school exams and couldn't get out here today, though. Okay. Anyway, I'm heading back to Ruan for a bit. What about you guys? Want to come with? Well, we've asked everything we need to over here. And the road's always better with company. Let's head out. It's decided then. Off we go to Ruan. Let's go. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be sure Kevin's got his good stuff equipped. Long barrel 3. I could just get 2 long barrel 3s. Make him be able to shoot from across the fucking map. Now I'll do ATS up. I'll use the Crimson Eye on him because he's good with magic. Okay. Action 3. EP 4. Gonna throw a EP cut into this. Actually, wait, Kevin's slots aren't all unlocked? I'm gonna go do that, because holy shit. We'll go ahead and give him HP 4 and mine 4. Then I think we'll do... Actually, I'm gonna need to open all those slots anyways, so we'll do that. If we can. I hope we can. Alright. Let's head back to town. I don't remember if he stays in the party after we get back to town, but I hope he does. At least long enough for me to, go to the orbment shop. Ah, finally back. Feels good to be in Ruan again. Thanks, guys. It was nice of you to make sure I got back here safely. Oh, come on. You don't need to thank us. Yeah, besides, like, you really needed the help anyway. That bowgun of yours is an antique, but you're pretty good with it. Don't lie. What? Nah. A wandering priest spends a lot of time out in the wilderness, you know? I gotta be able to defend myself somehow, but there's no way I could match a pro. You really think so? I think you'd make a really good bracer, actually. You're really skilled. Aw, still, you're making me blush. Keep the flattery up and we might have to get serious. No. I thought we agreed to knock it off with the come-ons. Anyway, about this spook you're hunting, people have been coming to the local church about it too. But Father Theodore thinks we ain't dealing with a normal spirit here, assuming it is a spirit at all. Really? Why isn't it normal? Well, the church likes to say that when people die, all the good little boys and girls join Idios in the sky, right? Right, and sinners are condemned to fall into the darkness of Gehenna. Sometimes, though, you get souls who don't really fall into either camp. That's what the church typically refers to as a ghost. Wandering souls, okay. But then, I still don't get what makes our ghost not normal if it's a wandering soul. Well, they don't really wander according to doctrine. Ghosts are usually bound to something. Could be a place, could be a person. Point is, it's something. The ghost everyone's been reporting, though, doesn't seem to behave that way. It's got Father Theodore worried, I can tell you that much. Ah, now I get it. Yeah, that's worrying. Anyway, so, just something to keep in mind as you investigate. Now, I gotta get to the church. See ya, gang. Stay cool and spookless. Bye, Kevin. Damn, we can't upgrade his shit. Huh, that was really good advice. I guess he does really know the testaments. He still doesn't seem like much of a priest, though. Ah, don't sweat it too much. The Wanderers really are a bunch of weirdos. The guy who used to come to Ravenou way back when was a real bowl of nuts too. Okay. So anyway, we've heard from all the witnesses Jean wanted us to talk to. I guess we should head back to the guild now. After you. I'm gonna actually check something here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we already got those. Okay. Hold up, does Agate? Yeah, Agate has all those slots unlocked. Hi, Neil and Dorothy. Hey! Hey, you're back. Estelle, hello! Neil, Dorothy, what are you two doing in Ruan? Obviously getting some pictures taken in articles made for this friggin' wildfire of an election. And then I heard something weird beyond that happening, so I stopped by to check out what's up. Something weird? You mean this white shadow thing people have been reporting? Actually, while you were out, we had another report of the thing appearing in the city limits. The citizenry is starting to get frightened and demand answers that I can't give them. Hell, this is really becoming a problem. And the capstone to it all would be the picture this young lady took. This one pretty much puts the nail in the coffin as to what's going on, so to speak. A picture? You mean? So what? You're into ghost hunting now? It's nothing like that, really. I was just taking pictures of the hotel at night and skaboosh, ghost picture. Here, take a look. Oh. Huh, yeah, I'd call this decisive. Come on, guys, don't you think this is just a bit too hasty? It might just be a malfunction of the camera, yeah. No, I don't think it's the camera's fault. It's a shiny, brand new model from the central factory, and I've been taking really good care of it. It's a malfunction, okay? Malfunction. Estelle, you're scary all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm willing to put a lot more faith into these sightings now. It seems like something really is out there. More to the point, I think working with the media on this wouldn't be a bad idea at this juncture. So let's all share information to start with. Did you guys get statements from the witnesses? Yeah, we checked with all three. Oh crap, this is an emergency, help! Yeah, hey, what's wrong? Why are you so worked up? Is it a robbery? No. The supporters of Norman and Portos are arguing. They're facing one another down on the Langland Bridge. That fuss over an argument? Those are the mayoral candidates, right? Friggin'. Oh, this sounds like an article, maybe a riot. Dorothy, we're on. Aye, sir. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Dorothy. Bye, Neil. Man, they're fast. We should get moving, too. If that thing turns into a damn riot, we need to be on hand. Right. Thanks, you too. Good luck. Norman supporters are arguing with Portos' supporters on the bridge. It's gonna turn into an outright brawl. Please, you need to intervene. Alright, let's go. Can I turn in my quests, though? Yeah, let me turn these in. Sorry, but I need you to handle the trouble at the bridge. Okay, yeah. Let me just report these in real quick. Cool. Okay. Oops, this is the wrong direction. My brain is... Okay, it's here. I was all flipped around. You aren't fooling anyone. We know that you're behind the ghost that appeared at the hotel. Norman's son is bedridden from the shock. Have you no shame? What disgusting tricks won't you stoop to? Oh, please, that son is a member of the Ravens. How do you expect us to trust something a worthless thug says? Wait a moment. Criticize me as you wish, but only a coward would attack my family. You will retract your statement calling my son a thug. That was probably a little much there. But sir, why are you agreeing? It's because you bend on issues like this that the tourism party dares to try such tactics. Who's daring to try things? The harbor party is the one crossing the line. Do you really think that your harassment with this ghost trick will really stop us? Yikes, this is getting really out of hand. Do you think we should step in? They ain't throwing punches yet, so stay cool. Get into a good position, though. If this does get real, we need to be ready to jump right in. Yeah, but there are so many spectators we can't get any closer. How the heck did Neo manage to get up front already? I can't take this anymore. Do you limp-wristed tourist suckers think you can beat us in a straight fight? Oh, that's it. Let's do this. The employees of the Norman firm will uphold Mr. Norman's honor. Stop, all of you. Do not sink to the level of thuggery. Everyone, calm down. We should discuss this rationally. Ah, crap. Son of a... Don't think we can stop them now. My goodness, what a tragedy in the making. I love you. Violence creates nothing. It only opens more empty chasms between men. To you, I offer this song. A gentle, sad song to encourage you to overcome that which divides your hearts and joins hands as one. I'm gonna wallow in this. Once again, fucking love Olivier. Ah, it seems you are all touched by my song. Remember, there is but one truth. Love is eternal. Well, Portos, I think it would be a good idea for both of us to cool our heads for a bit. Yes, I agree. Besides, we're obstructing traffic, yes. Back to the harbor, everyone. Yeah. Alright, I've got flyers to distribute. And the flaying begins. Can't blame them. But the citizens here are as easily stirred to both action and rest as anywhere else. No, what truly moves them is the miraculous power of my melody. You there, reporters, take photos and write articles to your heart's content over this day's miracle. Oh, okay, here we go. Say cheese. Marvelous. Alright. You guys still in the mood to talk about that stuff you mentioned before? Yeah, sure. I feel like I'll forget if we don't report it soon anyway. Let's get back to the guild house and report to Jean ASAP. Oh, Estelle, to where are you going? Wait, no, please wait. Oh, what a great expression. How heartbroken. It's so cute. Oh, how fickle you can be, my Rose. To meet your fated partner again after such a long absence, and then to abandon him. What cool barbs you cast. Fated partner, my left strega. What in the goddess's name are you doing in Ruan anyway, Olivier? Aren't you supposed to be turning into a prune in Elmo's Hot Springs? Mula contacted me at the Maple Leaf Inn, you see. He was kind enough to tell me that you'd returned from your travails, Estelle. And I thought to myself, she has been deprived of my person for so long. Her happiness is imperiled. I must welcome her back, and flew here post-haste. It certainly feels imperiled now. Still, I haven't seen you since the Queen's birthday celebrations. Thanks for your help back there, Olivier. It is nice to see you again. Truly? But your honesty makes it difficult for me to stay focused. When you don't take the opening to make a joke at my expense, it leaves me wanting something more. Let's see you deliver another line like that through your broken teeth. Whatever. Jean, this thing is Olivier, one of the people who helped us during the coup. Look at this. She's just like, look at this. This is Olivier. He's a thing. He's a musician from Arabonia, we think. Nice to meet you. You seem like an interesting person. So I'm guessing you don't mind if we let him in on this, then. Normally I'd want him to kick him out on his butt for being an outsider, but I doubt he'd ever listen, though. Just try not to make eye contact, maybe he'll go away. Oh, Agate. Truly, you are intimately acquainted with my ways. Hey, stop trying to imply things. We never even talked much. We just fought on the same side for a little while. Anyway, going beyond that. Yes, that sounds like a very good idea. Seriously, we have a story to talk about here. Don't have all day either. Dorothy and I need to get the scoop on the election. Right, I get it. So this is what the witnesses had to say. Still relayed the witnesses' testimonies and Kevin's analysis of the situation. I see. You managed to gather a lot of detailed information. It's enough to see that something is definitely up, at least. Really? I thought it was all kind of vague. Well, the possibility of it being a prank from the mayoral candidates to cause problems for the other is out, for one. Scaring Norman's kid is one thing, but I kind of doubt they'd waste time scaring guards or orphans. Also, whatever this ghost is, it can fly. That was consistent across every report. It's not something Joe Average could pull off. Well then, it must be a real ghost. Maybe some ancient noble went crazy and was locked up in a lonely cell and forced to wear a mask forever. And then, after hundreds of years, he revived as a spooky ghoul. Please stop talking about such scaring ideas with a happy face. Thanks. Besides, ghosts are supposed to be bound to people or places, so it really can't be a ghost, can it? Not necessarily. What do you mean, Olivier? You've noticed something? Well, I cannot weigh in on the matter of our fugitive's ghostliness, however. Estelle's report featured several common points. From what she said, it's actually quite possible our specter is bound to a place or person. Oh, you're sharper than I thought. I was about to say the same thing, actually. Indeed. As a wandering hunter of love, I must keep a map of the Burl handy at all times. Let us use my map to look at Estelle's sightings from a geographical perspective. Now then, Estelle, you investigated 3 areas, I believe. Here, here, and here, yes? That's right. The Ruan Warehouse District, Airlet and Checkpoint, and the Mercia Orphanage. What about them? If we look over the testimonies for differences, one particular point stands out. Estelle, I don't suppose you see it yourself now, looking at the map. Wait, that was obviously different with all 3 testimonies. Wait, that'd be... where the white shadow went. I've got it! It's where the ghost went that matters. Precisely. Our raven-feathered tough man in the city's southern block said it went northeast. Our airlet and guardsman said it went north. And our young orphan said the white shadow went east. What? Hey, now I get it. I never would have figured. Yeah, that's pretty conclusive. When you look at it like that, not many other places it can come from, really. Exactly my point. Genus Royal Academy. It must be around there. Olivier, you're pretty clever. Okay, I don't care if it's a ghost or whatever. We're gonna do the go to the academy and find out just what it is. Gene, it's cool, yeah? Absolutely, I'll phone ahead. Go on over and investigate. See if you can get to the bottom of all of this. I do have to wonder if our reporter friends have any plans, however. Really can't afford to cut out on the election. Okay, Dorothy, I'll leave this in your hands. Yes, sir. I'll do some real ghost hunting. I'll get tons of pictures. No, help solve the damn mystery. You follow Estelle and take pictures relating to this ghost mess. Oh, okay. I don't really get it, but I'll do my best. Hey, so we didn't actually agree to this part. Now. They did get us that photograph, so let's help them out in return, okay? Alright, fine. The camera girl can come along too. Kind of feels like this'll eat away at any seriousness the situation might have had. Still, Dorothy can probably help us out, so... It's settled then. I'm counting on you guys. If you'll excuse me, I have a couple of mayoral candidates to interview. Oh, but before that though, Estelle. Your dad told me a bit about the Joshua thing. Not a lot, but enough for me to get the picture. I know you're worried about those people. If I hear anything that might be related, I'll forward it to the guild. Yo, what up, Flamey? How you doing? What, So, yeah, keep a stiff upper lip, or something. Anyway, gotta go. Grading PC, so chatting on the phone and watching on TV. Yo. Did you actually get a non-used motherboard this time? Neil. Aw, Neil's embarrassed. It was a really big shock when I heard about it all from Cassius, I think. I think he's really looking for a way to help you, Estelle. Yep, nice. Really? Oh, if only I could be a little more honest, it'd be sweet. I'll make sure to contact the guild too if I take any more neato photographs of weird people. So, Estelle, fight on, yeah? Or something. Thanks, Dorothy. Anyway, off to the Royal Academy. Like I said, I'll call ahead and let them know to let you in. Good luck, guys. We're counting on you. Hell yeah. I don't even know why I'm bothering to ask at this point, but suppose you wanted to come too, Olivier? Oh, my dear Estelle. You may as well have asked if fish swim or birds fly. Why, after all, do you think I abandoned the warm, moist embrace of Elmo to come here? That's another... That's another bad out of context line. That's a really bad out of context line. Hold up, I'm screenshotting that one too. I'm keeping that one for safekeeping. That's a good line. Figures. Gate, what do you think? Should he come with us? Whatever, I don't care that much. Let's get one thing straight, though. I don't really trust you, pal. Do anything strange and I'll wreck you. Clear? Such hostility. Such negativity. What a pity. Sometimes a wild type like you isn't bad either, you know. What? But fear not. I shall refrain from pouring my affection into your untamed vessel until after I have earned your trust. Screw it. How about I wreck you right now, then? Honestly, fair. Oh, something feels really adult here. It's exciting. Oh boy, time to start locking your door at night, Agate. Oh no. Olivier's taken a liking to to Agate. Oh no. I once again, I'm very glad that I'm actually getting to see these lines, because I didn't get to see these the first time because I took a share instead. Can't pour himself into his untamed vessel. That is definitely a phrase. That is a phrase if I have ever heard one. I think I actually will. I'll try the background music up just a tad. Here we are. So this is the Royal Academy. Full of budding flowers trembling with potential, dewed with the passionate moisture of sweat and youthful tears. A lovely place. Oh, wow, I see like 10 pictures I already want to take. I'm gonna go through... Oh, God. I'm gonna go through so much film. Just a reminder, we're here to investigate the ghost mess. Keep your heads in the game. Thanks. This kind of makes me all nostalgic, though. I mean, we were only here a week, but... that just goes to show how important the time you spent with your friends was. You did something for the Academy play, right? Oh, I heard about that from Neil. Stella was a knight and Joshua was a princess, right? I wish I could have gotten some pictures. Oh, wait, what? Is this true? Oh, what a tragedy. That I should miss Joshua at his most grateful and alluring. Graceful. We simply must find him and have him wear such splendor again. And all of my memories are ruined forever. Changing gears, though. Matron Teresa said the test period would be over soon. I wonder if we're here a little early, though. Sieg! Sieg! Hi, Sieg. Best birdie friend. Scree, scree, scree. I have no idea what you're saying, but you're welcoming me, right? How have you been, Sieg? Scree. Estelle. Oh. Chloe! Chloe! Hey, it's been a while, huh? It has. Oh. Oh, what's wrong, Chloe? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've suffered so much and I can't do anything. Can't do anything to help my friends. I'm such a wretch. Hey, don't say that. I'm glad you care so much. I'm sure Joshua would feel the same way. I'm just happy to see you again. Me too. Thank Idios we were able to meet again. Oh, good grief, you two are dramatic even off the stage. Hey Estelle, I think we saw each other last at the birthday celebrations, right? Hi Jill, yeah, that's about right. And Hans too, hello. Hi Estelle, everyone. Love to chat, but I think we need to put that aside for a minute. You guys are here on bracer business, right? The dean wants to see you. I'll show you the way. Yes, I see. So you suspect this white shadow is originating from the academy grounds? Yes, sir. It seems like it is. So the guild would like permission to investigate inside the academy. You cool if we have a look around and ask the students some questions? Certainly. Given the circumstances, I would ask that you investigate in truth. While I have little idea what this white shadow could be, if it is affecting the election, we cannot simply sit idle and let it be. Thanks, sir. So, you mentioned not knowing what the white shadow might be. Alas, no one's reported anything of the sort to me. Jill, has anyone come to the student council about such a thing? No, not a peep. It was exam crunch time, though. Nobody'd really have the time to come say so much as hi to us anyway. Ah, I see. That would make sense. Huh? I think I'm lost. Here at the Royal Academy, there are periodic exams, which determine if you proceed to the next grade. Even if the students saw nothing, they might just choose to ignore it and focus on studying. I have to admit, I'd probably be one of them. I know I'd rather get one more formula in my head than focus on something that might just be my sleep-deprived mind playing tricks on me. Oh, are the exams really that intense? Wow, they work you students to the bone. But as of today, the exams are done. Sweet mercy of Idios. And people are going to be a lot more relaxed. People were going to start talking about ghost stories. Today's the day for it. There's a converse to this. If rumors spread too far, it will be hard to divine the truth. If we wish to hear the stories from the witnesses themselves, we must act today. Well then, you may begin your investigation immediately. Jill, Hans, Chloe, I suspect you will give them your full support. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. So, first off, if we're investigating something, we need a headquarters. Someone might come to the student council with more information, so you can use our meeting room. That'll be perfect. Let's go. Okay, let's divide up the jobs. Agate and I will go question the teachers. They should be in the faculty lounge right now. After that, we'll hunt down the rest of the staff and interrogate them, too. Easy enough. Hans will check the records in the reference room and see if anything like this has happened around here before. Understood. Estelle and Chloe will be in charge of interviewing students. Okay. We'll do our best. Dorothy, Olivier, you two, investigate the rounds as you see fit. I trust your, artist intuition to find something. Leave it to me. I'll do my best. Okay, so everyone, try and finish up your investigations by nightfall and return here. Alright, fall out. Let's go. She really is good at this, huh? I noticed it during the school festival, too. She can be pretty silly at times, but I guess she leads the student council for a reason. Well, she doesn't want to, she does want to become a politician, maybe, kind of like Maybelle of Bose. She was really frustrated when the election began. She kept going on about how she could have been a candidate if she were 10 years older. Well, I guess she could, yeah. Oh yeah, I was wondering, how much do you, Jill and Hans know about you, Chloe? I know you'd mentioned once they nicknamed you. Yes, they did. They essentially know everything. They saw through my disguise about halfway into my first year here. Aside from them, only the dean knows my true identity. Ah, that makes sense, I guess. They do seem pretty comfortable hanging out with you, even though they know about your important royal stuff. Yes, just like you, Estelle. You are the best friend I have. Oh, come on, you're embarrassing me here. Anyhow, let's go find some students to interrogate. If you see anything weird during the test period, should be good enough without raising suspicion, right? Yes, that should keep rumors from spreading, I think. Remember though, some of the students may be back in their dormitories already. Good point. We'll look there too. Off we go to questioning then. Hell yeah, let's get it. I forget where we're supposed to go specifically. I guess we're just gonna talk to fucking everyone. Hey you two, how goes the questioning? Well, we've just started, so we don't have much yet. Have you had any luck with the records? Not yet, but there aren't many records that could be relevant, so this shouldn't take long. Hey, I know you're busy, but could I take a minute of your time? Oh, sure. Let me guess, this is about Joshua, right? Yeah, I haven't heard all the details, but he's gone missing, right? He, has, but don't worry. It's something he did on his own, so it's basically like him running away from home. I wonder. I know I only spent a week or so with him, but... well, we really got along, got to know each other. We talked about a whole lot of things. Just could not shut up about his life after he came to live with you, Estelle. Really? That's so embarrassing. I was such a tomboy. I mean, I guess that's still true, but... well, I heard a lot of heartwarming stories, I'll say that much. The thing is, I've never heard a word about anything before then. Oh. One time I just kind of casually asked about what his life was like before he came to live with you. I'll never forget his expression when I asked that. I'll never be able to. His eyes just sort of clouded over. It was like he was staring at a cellage-long field of who knows what, that only he could see. Afterwards, though, he just laughed it off and pretended it never happened while avoiding the question. I don't really know his history, but his leaving has something to do with his early life, doesn't it? Yeah, we're pretty sure it does. I knew it. Whenever we went to bed, we'd always talk about how the day went, right? How practice was going, for example, or how delicious lunch was, that sort of thing. Whenever we did that, he got this look, like he was looking at something bright and beautiful. It's the expression of someone looking at something they want but can't have. And at the same time, he just sort of seemed to accept that it was something he could never have. He never really lost that look the entire time he was here. Joshua, is something you can have, you giant idiot? Estelle. So, yeah. I know I shouldn't really get involved since I don't know you two that well, but can I ask one favor of you? Just one? Huh? If you meet him again, don't ever let him have that kind of expression. He is an idiot thinking he can't have that kind of life. He's got just as much of a right to love, laugh, and enjoy life as any of us do. Can you do that for me? Hans. Yeah, of course I can. I'll wake him up to the fact that even if I have to slap his cheeks beet red in the process. Estelle. It may take that to really get him to understand, but we'll do it. Ah, crud. Sorry in advance, Jay. Felt good to get that off my chest. Sorry, I shouldn't take up too much of your time. Good luck with your investigation. Yeah, thanks, Hans. Good luck to you too, Hans. Yo, Chloe. Are you getting ready for Club 2? No, I'm afraid not, unfortunately. I don't have the time right now. I'm checking around the school for something. Huh? Checking for what? Well, you see... Still explained that they were looking into any strange events that may have occurred during the exam period. Strange events? So I don't remember anything like that. There were weird rumors floating around, but I can't say I know the details. I see. Either way, thanks. We'll try someone else. I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful. No worries. Thanks for your time. No problem. Got a sec? Huh? Do you need something? Yeah, I've got a question for you. Still explained that they were looking at any strange events. Strange event during the exam period. Ooh, like what? That sounds fascinating. Did something happen? You're entirely too excited about this, you know. It probably means she doesn't know anything. Guess we gotta go somewhere else. So what happened? Hey, come on, tell me. No. No. Hi, Dorothy. Dorothy, what are you doing? I'm taking beautiful pictures of the cafeteria. Got some really cute shots of the seafood jelly. It's so jiggly. Pretty good, huh? I don't know what I expected. Fair. Honestly. Gonna eat that just in case I don't have the recipe? I do. Okay. Good work with your tests. You're hungry, right? Go on, order whatever you like. You began your investigation, have you? And I see that Chloe is helping too. Yes, this case relates to our academy, so as a student here, I'd like to help however I can. Should you need anything, don't you hesitate to ask. I won't hold back any aid I can offer. Thanks, Dean. Oh, Chloe, did you have a question? No, actually. Is it about that thing Jill mentioned a bit ago? Something about searching for people who saw something suspicious, or... Yes, I'm assisting in the investigation. It's good to go out and be social once in a while. Good luck, your teacher's cheering for you. Yes, thank you very much. I have a tremendous stack of exam papers I haven't looked at. I hope I can finish grading today. Mr. Ratio. Truly the most 21st century name. Huh? Strange events? Sorry, but there wasn't anything. Did anything weird happen? Anything you noticed that struck you at all? Oh, hello, you two. How goes the investigation? We'll handle this part, so we'll leave the students to you. Yes. Oh, you're bracers, aren't you? I've already been informed of your task. Please investigate freely. Strange events? It was no different than any other exam period. It's busy from morning till night studying. Oh, finally, exams are over. Huh? What? Strange events during the exams? No, don't remember anything. Strange events during the exam period. Sorry, weird stuff's not on my radar. I've only got my eye on cute stuff. So I don't remember seeing anything weird. Nope. I'm hungry. Huh? You want something? Yeah. Actually, we had a question. Strange events? Like, did you see anything weird or hear any odd sounds? Anything you might have noticed would be helpful. Odd sounds? This don't make me remember all that creepy stuff. Did you see something? Yeah, I haven't actually told anyone before you guys, though. Saw someone suspicious. Really? Did you give us the details? Okay, sure. Hanging out behind the schoolhouse on my way back home, right? It's a great place to chill during the test. No one's ever there. So I was walking around near the rear gate on my way back when this white floating person suddenly flew past. Sure looked like a person. No way I could have seen it wrong. White human form. That matches what the other witnesses have said. So what happened after that? Floated off towards the rear gate. After that, I didn't see him. I see. So he disappeared toward the rear gate. Yeah, this is a good intel. I should write this down in my notebook. I agree. This is valuable testimony. So is that enough? I'm starving and I want to grab some food. Sorry, you're all good. Thanks for the help. Oh, not sure what's going on, but good luck or whatever. Strange events during the exams? No, nothing in particular happened. How interesting. Mysterious phenomena assaulting the academy. Oh my. Might be able to use it in the novel I'm planning. Oh, this is the auditorium. It's strange, isn't it? It was only a few months ago, and yet I can't help but reminisce. Yeah. A whole lot happened after that. Our calm, serene princess Joshua has left us. Now it's just us on stage. Having no supporting cast feels kinda strange, you know? It does. Say, Estelle, may I make a small confession? Sure. I like Joshua. I mean, you know, affectionately. I was a bit attracted to him from the moment we met. What? I see. I actually kind of figured. It always sort of seemed that way. That kiss scene at the end of the play, I won't deny it sent my heart racing. I kept apologizing quietly to you even as I threw myself into the role. I was all set to really kiss him at the end, not just pretend. Really? You're a lot braver than I thought, Chloe. Julia says I always do things that make her worry. But then when Mère d'Amour pointed that gun at you, Estelle, Joshua's eyes, I've never seen so full of murderous rage. And it was all because you're that important to him. That's when I gave up, because I realized I never had a chance against that. I don't know. I think it might be a little too early for you to give up. I mean, honestly, Chloe, I can't even compare to you. Oh, Estelle, you're so silly when it comes to this sort of thing. You really have no idea how charming you are. Man, I pay you a compliment and you poke fun at me. Come on, Chloe, I was serious. But that's just it, so was I. I love that about you, Estelle, your open honesty. And I think Joshua feels the same way. I guess Joshua and I are a bit alike in that sense. You know, I did notice that, kind of. You're both smart, level-headed, polite. To be honest, I totally told Joshua you two would be great together because of that. Until I met everyone here, I was very lonely. I think in that sense, I was a little like Joshua before he met you. If there's a difference between us, it would be our strength. Your strength? Like how? Grandmother wishes very much to name me the next queen, especially after what happened recently. I guess it would be for the best, all things considered, but if I become queen, I'll never be Chloe Rins again. And I will be Claudia von Osleys forevermore, burdened with power and responsibility. I'd never again get to hug those orphans, or talk to my friends casually, or attend class. The very idea terrifies me. Yet I feel so pathetic for not having the strength to return to that solitude when it's necessary. Still haven't given grandmother a proper answer. Chloe. In that sense, Joshua is stronger than I could ever hope to be. I'm sure that he, more than anyone, didn't want to be separated from you. But even so, he disappeared as to not involve you in what he felt was his own problem. Joshua's strong on some level, yeah. But I don't think that's the kind of strength you should admire. It's the role of a queen to rule a whole country. Of course you're hesitating, it's natural. Heck, would it be really worrying if you wanted it without hesitating like Dunan? Being worried and unsure about whether you'll be good and still trying anyway. That's why you'll be an amazing queen, Chloe. Estelle. But Joshua didn't hesitate. He barely thought twice. He left me, left us, behind as if it were the most natural thing in the world. That's something I can't ever forgive him for. Estelle. You're right, it is unforgivable. Why is it the cute ones that are always the ones who don't understand a girl's feelings? I'm glad we're friends, Chloe. I don't have many people I can open up to quite like this. Neither do I. Although all we've been talking about are embarrassing things, really. Oh, please don't misunderstand me, though. I don't feel, that way about Joshua at all now. Don't worry, it's okay. I kinda learned the hard way that love isn't something you should try and hold back. I guess my dad would totally call us both a couple of dumb kids. Thank you, Estelle. Well, to be honest, if I said I didn't have any feelings left toward him, I'd be lying. But more than anything, I want to see you two happy together, and... don't worry, I get it. Anyway, we spent a bit too much time with girl talk, I think. Want to get back to interviewing the students? Yes, we should. Let's try and talk to everyone before nightfall. That singular scene, I'm pretty sure that's totally missable. And that is such a goddamn important scene in this game. And I think you can literally just miss it if you never walk into the auditorium. It's just a thing. That shit's wild. Okay, let me actually pause real quick. I'm gonna go grab another drink, because I just ran out, and I need more. Especially because I have not been drinking nearly enough. So my throat is hurting. So yeah, I will be right back in just a sec. I'm just gonna grab another can from my fridge, so 1 sec. Okay. Crack this boy open. Okay. Oops. Strange events during the exam period. No, I didn't really know of anything. Try asking someone else. Clubs are starting up again tomorrow. I'm doing my rounds on the school grounds, making sure everything's in good shape. Just one set of people. Excuse me. And how come no one ever told me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I already said that I'd spend my vacation sightseeing across the borough. Why am I being forced to return home now? Felicity, please, calm yourself. No, I refuse. This time I will stay in my peace. Or I will say my piece. Tests are finally over and I was finally starting to plan all the things I wanted to do for my vacation. So why has a return ticket to the Empire conveniently shown up on my doorstep now of all times? You've been plotting against me with Grandfather, haven't you? Man, hard to get a word in edgewise. Let's just see what happens. I truly believe it would be in your best interest to keep these complaints to yourself for now. They can only serve to make things worse. Excuse me? Excuse me? Have you forgotten your place? How dare you speak to your mistress in such a manner? Damn. Oops. Pardon us. I did try to warn you. Did you need something from me? Yeah, sorry to butt in while you're busy. We're in the middle of an investigation, you see. Still explained that they were looking into any strange events that might have occurred during the exam period. I see, you've come about that little incident. Reina, please, that's enough. I can hardly bear to recall such horrors. Did something happen? Indeed. In fact, what we saw would qualify as more than strange. It was a human... Ooh. God, the fucking carbonation, I swear. It's fucking me up. It was a human form floating in the air. Ah. Reina! Please, tell me everything you saw in as much detail as possible. I would love to, but I believe I could share enough information for the both of us. Is that acceptable, Felicity? Oh, fine. Do whatever you want. It was on the night before exams. Very suddenly, Felicity said there was someone outside the window. Oh, joy of joys. This already sounds like the start of some ghost story. When I peeked out the window, I saw a human form floating above the schoolhouse, just as she'd said. It spun as if blown by the wind. Eventually, it disappeared toward the back of the schoolhouse. And then came the worst part of all. My lady, being struck by fear, climbed into my bed and... Surely that part isn't relevant to their investigation right now. Yeah, no need to be that specific. Oh, I see. A pity, just as it was getting interesting too. Anyway, to make a long story short, a human shape appeared in the sky above the schoolhouse, spun around, then vanished towards the backside of the schoolhouse. Yep, that's correct. Was that of any help? More than helpful, thanks a lot. We couldn't have asked for a better testimony, really. Alright, I should jot this down in my notebook right away. Yeah, I wonder if, because Felicity's from Erebonia, I'm kind of curious if you can actually find her in the Cold Steel games. So I honestly have no clue. Okay, let me go upstairs because I haven't done that yet. Start from left to right. Hello, Chloe. Did you need something? Actually, yes. We'd like to ask you a question. Oh, what's up? So... Strange events? Oh, there wasn't anything in particular. Sorry, I can be of more help. Nah, no worries. Well, thanks for your time. If anything else comes up, let me know. Huh? Did you forget something, Chloe? No, I had some stuff to do, so I was walking around the schoolhouse. Oh, what kind of stuff? So, actually... Huh? Strange events? I don't think there was anything. I'm sorry, I'm of no help whatsoever. No, don't let it bother you. Well, let's go check in with the other people. Thanks, Rochelle. No problem. Yes, odd events? No, sorry, nothing weird happened. You might have better luck with someone else. Oh, Chloe, how did your test go? Oh, well enough, I guess. More importantly, Patrick, may we have a moment? Sure, what is it? So actually... Strange events, you say? I do have something that might be along that line, sort of, but... it's fine if you don't know the exact details. No, Erebonia. E-R-E. Close. Just tell us everything that happened at the time. Alright. Well, actually, I saw this humanoid form flying in the sky. Oh! Could you tell us everything you remember about that? Sure, it was on one of the exam nights. I stayed behind in the classroom to study. Thought I'd noticed something move outside the window. Thought maybe the wind had picked up or something, so I went to close the window. When I saw this white, shadowy form floating outside. White, shadowy form? So what happened next? And unfortunately, I lost sight of it immediately. Just sort of disappeared towards the east. This would mean that it disappeared towards the back of the schoolhouse, right? Yep. Still, you remembered a lot of details. Well, it was quite an interesting phenomenon. I wrote some simple notes down thinking I'd research it later. Research? Patrick is a student of the sciences, after all. Ah, I see. Was I of any help? Yeah, definitely. That was valuable testimony. I'll get that down in my notebook right away. Patrick, thank you. Not at all. It was a minor request. Alright. Sciences class. Huh? Do you need something? Odd events, huh? I don't think there was anything, no. You want something? Strange events during the exam period. No, I can't think of anything. Alright, so they're all empty. Okay. I think we've gotten just about everything we can from the students. Shall we head back to the student council room? Yeah, let's. With any luck, we can put together what we've heard with everyone else and still figure out what's up. Ugh, everything on campus checks out. Now then, just need to have a look-see at all of the club's equipment. Hey, did you find anything out? Alright, food time. You enjoy that food, Mickey. Good job. Hey, you're back. Alright, everyone, reports. Hit me in the face. We talked to the entire staff, but practically all of them came up blank. Only one who saw anything remotely weird was the janitor. He said he saw a suspicious person who seemed to disappear right at the gate to the old schoolhouse. Yeah, the teaching staff were all too busy preparing for the test, so nobody saw anything useful. Cafeteria lady Fauna and the receptionist also didn't have much to say. I was kind of afraid of that. Well, for our part, we heard some interesting stories from 3 students in particular. So reported Patrick, Mickey, and Felicity's stories to the group. All of them centered around the rear of the school grounds near the old schoolhouse. That strikes me as too similar to be mere coincidence. I got some results too! I took 30 pictures of the students and teachers, and then 50 of the school scenery. They're all really cute. I love this place. Sadly, my efforts failed to shine. I did, however, cause several beautiful kittens to flock to the siren call of my lute. So you two accomplished literally nothing. Like, at all. I mean, I wasn't expecting much, but come on. So that'd leave me for last, I suppose. I looked over the records for any similar cases. Problem is, everything here is so new, there's nothing really in the way of ghost stories and whatnot. Anything remotely relevant centers around the old schoolhouse. In that case, the old ruin is suspicious no matter how you slice it. What's the deal with that shack anyway? It's the original Genus building. It's been around for centuries as far as I know. The new campus was finished about 20 years ago. School moved here and the old place has been closed off ever since. Wait, hang on, it's closed off? But I thought we popped in there during the school festival. Unfortunately, some of the very dangerous monsters that have been wandering around got in after you left. You've had to leave it tightly locked and abandoned ever since. Oh my, a stone ruin dating back centuries. It strikes me as the perfect haunt for a ghost. Thanks a heap for pointing that out. Well, I really don't want to go, but it's not like we have any other leads. It's getting pretty late though, so how about we check it out tomorrow, yeah? Why, Estelle, whatever makes now a bad time, doesn't seem that late. Well, you see, it's almost nightfall and it might be dangerous with the monsters and stuff. It'll be a bit of a challenge during the day, so I imagine it'd be stupidly dangerous at night. But is that not the point? The truly terrifying manifests best under the light of the moon. If there is any time to grasp the true nature of our spectre, it is now. Yeah, you gotta get the ghost pictures at night. It's the law or something. On Looney Land, maybe. Huh? Estelle, what's wrong? I don't know. I thought I saw something outside the window. It was a sort of whitish shadow, probably just sea. Hold on. A white shadow. Estelle, what's... Hey! Estelle's fucking dead. Estelle, wake up. Huh? Estelle, you're awake. Oh, thank goodness. How do you feel? Are you hurt? No, I think I'm okay. Wait, this is the girls' dorm, right? Why am I... Wait, I saw it! I saw the white shadow right out that window! And then it... so you really did see a ghost. Estelle, what did the white shadow look like? Well, it was a man dressed in old-fashioned clothes, like an opera getup or something, and wearing a mask. He danced in circles and he was glowing. He flew off towards the old schoolhouse. Whoa, what a neato ghost! I'm going to hazard a guess that this matches the description you've heard before, right? I figured the old schoolhouse would have something to do with this. Screw it. What? I don't know if this is a spook or a dude with an airship in his pants or whatever. He's gonna run around looking crazy and scaring people and making them faint. I'm gonna beat him to a pulp once and for all. Good. Beat him to a pulp? Oh, Estelle, do ghosts make you angry and afraid and stuff? I was scared of the ghost because I wasn't sure if they existed or could rip my soul out or something. Now that I've seen one, I ain't afraid of no ghost, not at all. If I see it again, I'm gonna polish my staff with its face. I'm not sure if this is courage or if she's just gone off the deep end. Oh, Estelle. Alright, I got the key to the back gate from the teachers. Thanks, Hans. Glad you're fired up, but you sure you're okay? Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be okay when I've got... Why wouldn't I be okay? When have I ever given the impression ghosts paralyzed with me with fear? That's silly. I'm gonna go into this old schoolhouse, punch the ghost in the face, and drag him back to the guild. If you say so. We're finally entering Estelle's element, it seems. Well then, let us begin our test of courage. Monsters may have taken root in the ruin, so only those skilled at the art of combat should enter. Good thinking, for once. The camera girl can come, but the others should stay behind. Yeah, I know. We'll leave everything to you big, tough fighting types. We'll be waiting here in case something happens. Agate, may I accompany you? What? Excuse me, princess. Isn't this a little dangerous for the possible heir to Liberl? The children at the orphanage have seen this, whatever it is. I cannot simply let it be. I've also seen the inside of the, I've also been inside the old schoolhouse on a few occasions. I think I may be able to help. Fine, okay. Of course, when I think about it, you're probably skilled enough to help us out anyway. What with how you went up against Richard and all. Just be careful. Don't overdo it, okay? Man, that dialogue... Huh. That dialogue probably changes if you don't bring her with, for the final fight. Neat. I never actually thought about that. But once again, cool. If I can fix my hair. There we go. I'll be careful, I promise. Okay then. Let's head into the schoolhouse and catch us a ghost. Yeah. Let's go. So this is the old schoolhouse, huh? Now we're getting somewhere. I can feel my blood begin to sing with the terror of it all. I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, you two sure seem terrified, alright. Oh, what's up? Estelle, on the door. This is a card? Great. Let's see what's written on it. Oh, uninvited wanderers, welcome unto my transient abode. If you do not fear the curse of 1,000 years, then hasten to join me. The first curse is in the great room. The hollow flame shall guide thee. Oh! Card was engulfed in flame and burned away. What the hell? Oh, maybe it's spontaneous combustion. I've heard that happens with spooky poltergeists. What a provocative little ghost we have. Attempting to riddle us, is he? Oh, it's on now. I'll teach her not to mess with real living people. Well, as long as you can keep the bravery up, we'll be okay. But the hollow flame shall guide thee. What the hell does that mean? I'd be willing to guess that the great room is the big entry hall just beyond. We'll need to investigate it. Right, come on. I'm gonna check around the side here because I don't remember if there's chests. Okay, the answer is no. Alright, in we go. I'm gonna go down this hall. Check for stuff. There's a chest. Chest is as empty as my well of creativity after writing all these messages. Honestly fair. I I cannot imagine how difficult it is writing hundreds of fucking chess messages. This goes out here. I know which thing we're supposed to do. It's literally this right here, but I want to explore first. I want to say there's a chest out here. I hope you washed your hands if you're going to double dip. Damn. Use back gate key. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. Go interact with the empty flame. A hollow flame. I guess you could think of it of a candlestick that way. This is the only one that isn't lit. Let me take a look. There's a card within the candlestick. The second curse is within the classroom. Seek the south-facing student. Well, at least the answer was right. So a classroom this time, and a south-facing student in an empty school. If I remember correctly, there are 4 classrooms in total in the left wing, 2 on each floor. Alright then, let's check them out and watch our compass. Okay, let me see. So I think it would be whatever desk is facing the top right direction. There we go. Well, the other desks are messed up, but this one looks okay. And it's pointing exactly south. This is probably it. Let me take a look. There's a card in the desk cavity. The third curse lies within the garden. Seek ye the fallen neck. Yow! Well, I was right at least, but where's the next one? A fallen neck in the garden. A metaphor, clearly, but for what? A marvelous mystery. That would be up here. A fallen neck in the garden. This matches the requirements in a way. Yeah, this looks like it. Look! Stone planner held a card and an old key. Now thine curse is realized. Overcome the final trial and stand before me. Card bursts into flames. That's the end of the riddles, I think. I hope. I hope thine curse is realized. It's just a metaphor, though. Regardless, he wishes us to use the key. Let's find a lock it might open. Let me actually do a thing. There was something that I was actually recommended to do, that I saw a while back that I actually didn't ever end up getting to do. That like actually just popped back into my mind. I'm gonna create a new text document I'll just put it under games. Actually, I'll just throw it on my desktop. That's fine. I'm making a text document. Actually, no. Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna make a Google spreadsheet. That's what we'll do. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Go to, this is the right one. Add a new spreadsheet. So there was a thing I saw in, I don't know, it was one of the videos I was watching about trails where someone was saying it's like really a good idea to just like have a list of every single member of Ouroboros that you like know of at any given time and where you last like saw them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a list real quick. So I'm gonna have because each member is assigned a number. So I'm gonna put enforcer number, name, last known. There's 3 categories, and then that'll be good. Fill that with, I don't know, just something. black. I'll actually put some like thin columns in between them as well, as a little bit of an extra separator. Oops, I just fucked that up. Okay. One more column to the right. Cranky down. Make that one filled with black as well. Okay, and then I can delete everything. Everything to the right of this. I don't remember. I don't actually know how many enforcers there are total. But yeah, I'm just gonna do. I know it starts with 0, so we'll start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know there's at least 13. Actually, no, I think there's at least 15. I'll just count up to 15 for now, and then if we find one above 15, we'll add more. Okay. I'm trying to remember which ones we actually have, because I have known of already. I believe we know which one. We'll worry about it later. So I think we know a couple just from that one cutscene in between the prologue and chapter 1. Anyways, yeah. We can worry about that later. I'm pretty sure they'll, like, re-say the numbers. Is this a statue of a dragon? This statue's been here for as long as I can remember. Apparently it's carved in the image of a dragon who used to reside in Liberl. Something's off about this. See if there's any kind of trick in here. Bingo. There's something like this to be beneath the statue. Not a bad little plan. This is getting quite exhilarating. Yeah, someone's really trying to make this fun. If this was a touristy trap place, I bet it'd look. Yeah, I bet it'd get a lot, I guess. But you know, something about this seems weird. Like, beyond what you'd expect. Like those cards. Doesn't that seem weird for a ghost? Yes, it would seem difficult for an incorporeal spirit to do all this. Either way, what we're up against isn't gonna go easy on us. Keep it together. We're going down. Let me be sure, Chloe, yeah. I was gonna say, let me be sure Chloe has what she needs. So she gets a water gem. And keep heal. Keep sapphire gem. I think that should give her enough. Let me see. Magic. Let me see. Lateral. Need 22. So let me see. 27. Yeah, she has enough for literally everything. So the highest one is 25. Okay, cool. That. Do a gold gem. Actually, I might not even need to do that. I think I do want that though. I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna put a gold gem on regardless. Okay, I could do a wind gem or a shield gem. Could also do impede. Eh. Not as hot on that. Let's do. Let me do wind. And then what else? What else can we do? give her a topaz gem, which would give us revival. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good idea. So either revival or fire spells. But I also get, if I do revival, then I can also get some other stuff too. I could actually just do a petrify too, and that would be pretty good on her. Yeah, I like this. This is a good combination. And then Olivier. Get EP 4. Hit 3. Defense 3. Range. Eh. I'll do cast. I also just realized she doesn't have any, I wouldn't lose any of my healing spells if I were to switch this to a, action 3. It's only plus 15% max EP, so that's kind of worthwhile. It's either action 3 or cast. Which either would be beneficial, really. I'll just do action 3. Sure. And then Olivier can use cast through. You can get an EP cut for an action 3. And fuck it, we'll give him an attack 3 as well. That works. Okay, cool. And let's be sure they have their equipment. Why is he... Oh, okay. I was like, why is he able to equip that? Even then, that didn't make sense. Why was he able to equip the practice weapon? That's normally not a thing. It's usually only a thing if you unequip. Okay, you get long barrel 3. Double long barrel 3. And then you can just go fucking ham from afar. And then you can get the buzzer and where'd it go? Crimson Eye. So that'll bump her attack, her art attack up a lot. Ooh. Huh? Ah, hell, here we go. That's pretty. Oh yeah, I forgot about NPC protection fights. You know, let me just see something. How much does dark matter do on this thing? Let me, can I do a defense down on this guy? Doesn't look like I can, damn. Okay, that's fine. Alright, let's see how much damage she does. Okay, 3,500, that's not too bad. Alright. That was a couple of pieces of cake, I think. So this place is some kind of underground ruin? Yes, it seems so. The architecture is similar to the buildings from the Middle Ages. I had no idea a place like this was so close to the academy. The monsters in this place are as thick as Hopper chiefs in a wine cellar. This ruin must be the trial mentioned in the card, then. Yeah, no way we can bring any unarmed civvies with us any further. Yo, camera girl. Huh? What's up? You heard all that. This place is a death trap for someone like you. Go back to the room we were just in and wait for us. But, I wanted to get some ghost pictures. Hey, don't worry, Dorothy. We'll come back if we find anything, okay? You can get your awesome pictures then, alright? Well, if I gotta... Be careful, okay, guys? Alright, let's move out. Keep an eye on the monsters. They're tough monsters, so we need... so let's fight the ones we need to. Right. Of course. Naturally. Chest. Single tumbleweed rolls from one side of the chest to another. What you've taken from this chest, you can never restore. Damn. Monsters. I'll get like half of them in one slice. Do you have a line attack? You do. Nice. Boom. This is the 56th chest you've opened. Congrats. Nah, just kidding. I'm not even counting. You are, though. The achievement is counting. Well, crap. Same chest. Same. It's a vase. It's a pot. No, it's a super chest. No matter how desperately you loot, you can't find anything in the chest. The chest gives you a smug look, prompting you to scowl back. How does a chest give a smug look? I want to see that. That sounds like fun. Yep, it's empty. As you open the chest, a number of trapped screaming skulls come swirling out. That's probably normal. Makes sense. Oh boy, you came back to visit me. Does that mean you're my first fan? No. No, it doesn't. A kitten curled up in the chest. Aw, it's so cute. As a result of acute kittenitis, I forgot to take whatever else was left inside. Damn. Feels bad. This is empty, but at least the interior is really nice. Velvet lined and everything. Sick. Alright, cool. Made it to the end. Not quite the end, actually. Okay. I actually don't have any AoE spells. That's kind of surprising. All those in the same spot. Olivier, you can also do another Hellgate. Oh wait, no, that's not the right thing. It's... You know, fuck it. Do a Death Scream. Do it. Okay, that's pretty good. You can literally just shoot from here and kill it.
99 kitty cats.
Okay. More chests. Nothing in this chest, but you imagine all the things that could have been. Strange, this chest had something before, at least. Look, I know you think it would be wonderful if we could all just loot infinite amounts of treasure from the same chests, but no. Damn. Take as many times as you want. Nothing will ever be in here again. Also, the fact that one of those chests just gave me Xerum powder, that's actually pretty good. Gonna have to use that later on in the game, once we get back to the end. Oh, did I come up here? No, I did not. You're opening me again? How naughty. Damn. Okay, so this is the end. Look at the chest. The chest looks at you. You both know that neither of you have anything left to give. Pro tip, you can hide the body in an empty chest. I won't tell anyone what you did. Damn. You know, they got a point. Okay, I think that's all the chests here. So I'm just gonna go. Or at least close to all of them. I don't need to worry about actually getting them all for the achievement, so. Because I already have the achievement. Stretch real quick. Alright. Hey. Huh, well, you've got a shadow, so I'm guessing you ain't a ghost. Just who the hell are you? Welcome, my guest, to my humble transient abode. I receive you with open arms. Your host will not disappoint, I assure you. A mask? It's exactly as you and Polly described him, Estelle. So then, you are the ghost who has been disturbing Ruan. Indeed I am, Princess Claudia. It is the greatest pleasure to meet you in person at last. How do you know who Chloe is? My pet, there is nothing, no item, or secret on this plane or above which I cannot take. But I am uncouth and have not introduced myself to my guests. Allow me then. I am Enforcer Number 10, the mysterious, gentlemanly phantom thief Blue Blanc. That is to say, the Enforcer Number 10 of the Society of Ouroboros. Alright, let me mark that down. Oh, he's 10. Blue Blanc. Alright. Ouroboros? Ah, hell. Such murderous, withering glares. I assure you they are not necessary. Today. I am merely here to perform a simple, trivial experiment. Not even the slightest hair on my body has any intention of conflict with you. An experiment? Wait, that's the black one Colonel Richard had, the gospel. Right, except unless my eyes deceive me, that one is even larger than the last. Interesting. It is as he said then. You already know of these. The gospel I hold is a new model developed for the purpose of experiments such as this. It has proven quite the aid in my tests over the past few days. Tests? What tests? What indeed, as they say. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Allow me to show you in person. The ghost! No, it seems to be a projection of some sort, cast into the air using that device. I've never heard of such a device being invented. Naturally not. This is a hologram projector that we developed. Of course, the projector on its own can cast images a little farther than this, but with the power of a gospel, one can do things such as this. Ah, holy... Well, the concept is clear enough, I think. The good citizens of Ruan have received a once-in-a-lifetime performance. They should be thrilled. It was all just a bunch of bullcrap pranks then. Tuh. Pranks. Such an insult to my performances. 'Twas a gift of enjoyment and a distraction to a city suffering the stresses of a heated election. Can you not see the beauty of such a gift? Okay, I think I get what you're doing, but tell me, why did you do all this? Why did you scare so many people? What do you people, what does Ouroboros have planned? It is not my place to speak the mind and purpose of the Grandmaster. Forgive me. Why I myself am here, assisting in the plan, however, is simple. I have come seeking an audience with you, Princess Claudia. What? Your beautiful pride, which was on such magnificent display when you brought justice upon the old mayor. I agreed to participate in this plan, to claim that beauty for my own. Oh, I have waited for this day on pins and needles for months. You cannot imagine my joy. Oh, what justice upon? You mean what happened with Mayor Dalmore? Wait, how the hell do you know about that? I was a fly on the wall for that little event. Or perhaps a shadow. Like this, for example. I forgot that he does that. You were in Dalmore Mansion. A phantom thief is in essence a worshipper of beauty. We chase it, we covet it, and that which is prideful we cannot help but captivate us. Princess, your pride has stolen my heart. Indeed, you have stolen the heart of a phantom thief. Ah, what sweet humiliation this is. My pet, how do you intend to atone for such a slight upon me? I don't really. He's so full of himself he's about to fall over. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Oh, I beg you, do not compare me to that. So you're an agent of Ouroboros. You aren't what I was expecting, but if you're gonna try and hurt Chloe, I'm definitely gonna stop you. Estelle. Alright, in accordance with the laws of the Bracer Guild, you are hereby under arrest and charged with intrusion, theft, and a bunch of other junk. Got a whole lot of questions for you, that gospel being just the start. So come quietly or we break your teeth. Tuh, how boorish. Arrest me. While it would be invigorating to have a little fracas, I do choose this place for a reason. I shall allow him to be your opponent, I believe. Huh? Oh, what the? I would say I have a bad feeling, but somehow I feel it's too obvious. It's wild how much smoother the animation is on this guy compared to the final boss of the first game. What the heck is that thing? Some kind of armored centaur machine? Quite, it seems he was once the guardian of this place. That poor chap was half broken when I arrived. I repaired him out of the kindness of my heart, you see. Since he's here, I think he could serve you as a worthy opponent, don't you? You have to be kidding. Here it comes. Boop. Ooh. I'm just gonna do a true hurricane right here because that'll take all of them out. Yeah, there we go. Actually, all but the one at the bottom. There we go. We won, I think. What a waste of time. Alright, clown, your turn. Hope you don't mind missing a few teeth. Really now, such a lack of elegance in your fighting styles. I'd hoped for better. Well, if I must, please, let me show you a proper example of elegance. Flamme? Oh, what? The torches. Agil! He did something to our shadows. Apologies, my guests, but I must ask that you remain still from this point forward. You seem surprised that when Dalmore's treasure did this, however. For we enforcers, such abilities are trivial, even without such crutches. No. Damn it, didn't expect this. I see. Scree! See? Ah, there you are, courageous little white knight. Your chivalrous bravery is admirable, but I must ask you to remain still for a while. Shadow weaving's such a fucking cool ability. Ah, my Princess Claudia, you are now a prisoner to my desires. How does it feel, I wonder? Do not think that this will break me. Even if you bind my body, you shall never enslave my heart. So long as I am myself, you will never take me. Yes, yes, those eyes. Those eyes that shine with such beautiful pride, which say I will never break. That shine is what I desire, and you are everything I hoped for. Hey, cut the crap, okay? BB Mask Dude, get the hell away from Chloe! BB Mask Dude, really? Do not understand the beauty of this mask. You have a very dim understanding of refinement, pet. I ask you, be silent. My apologies. You've simply made a very crude mistake. I'm afraid I couldn't help but give an innocent chuckle. Oh, this should be amusing, and the way of watching a pig wallow in mud is captivating. What exactly is my mistake, bard? I certainly wouldn't deny Claudia's beauty, not even for a moment. Her beauty, however, extends far beyond the estimation your frail, tasteless aesthetic provides. You may approach her again when you have learned the first thing about beauty, jester of the Grand Master. What? Your words are bold in the face of death, Erebonian. But what gives vagabond musician scums such as yourself any right to insult my sense of beauty? Choose your next words carefully, or they will determine your fate. Then I shall phrase them as a question. What is beauty? Tut. You disappoint. I expected much more than such foolishness. Beauty is pride, a distant light gleaming far above mortal cares. Indeed, can any other answer even be allowed? I think not. Really, I can't even lack such an answer. True beauty, Blue Blanc of Ouroboros, is love. What? Beauty only exists because people are brave enough to love. And without love, without bonds of affection and camaraderie that bind us together, beauty is not but a hollow illusion. The prideful and the humble both shine as a diamond in love. How childish. Love is the hollow illusion, you cloddish jongleur. Beauty is an absolute. Its existence does not depend on transient human emotions. Yet it is the flower that blooms on the highest mountain, unseen by man, remains beautiful in anonymity. I've ever been forced to listen to a more brain-rottingly stupid conversation in my life. I'm not quite sure what to say to all of this. Never would I have expected to find a proper rival in the ways of beauty amongst such a ruin. Musician, give me your name. Olivier Lenheim, a wandering bard and hunter of love, roaming to and fro in search of its perfect manifestation. Olivier Lenheim. I shall remember that name. Hey, I finally found you guys! Hi, Dorothy. Sorry, I know you said to wait, but you guys were so late, I couldn't wait anymore. Dorothy! No, Dorothy, run away, please! Huh? Hey, a masked man in white clothes! You're the ghost, aren't you? You are. What? Oh, whoa. Okay, say cheese. What? Scream. I can move again. Well, hey, the flashbulb wiped our shadows. I'm an astounding girl. Photography and perfectly timed heroism all in one package. Leave it to me. Even though I don't know what I did, Ah, crap. The gospel. It has been an age since I have been entertained so. You have my thanks, my guests. You son of... What are you gonna do now? I'm going to end our revelry for tonight. Forgive me if I seem an ungracious host. It appears, however, that I must take stock of my assumptions about you. I can see now why the Black Fang has taken such an interest in you. The Black Fang? You mean Joshua? We are old acquaintances, in a sense. The reason you came to my attention at all was because I noticed that shock of black hair and those amber eyes with you. Though his memories have returned to the stage of his mind, I do wonder where he's rehearsing. Ah, the hell was... I must now take my leave, my guests. The true plan has but started. I would gird yourselves for long labors and suffering ahead, if you intend to oppose us further. And I do intend to keep our little game going on the side. Till next we meet. He's gone. I still can't believe it. Wowee, it's like a magic trick. Most impressive. I suppose it behooves me to take him as my rival. Okay, we are so beyond worrying about rivals here. He may look like some pervo ballroom freak, but that power of his is not normal. Yeah. Ouroboros. Wasn't just that Lawrence punk, then. They're all way stronger than I thought. And so, the ghost incident that had so stirred Ruan came to an end. The next morning, Estelle and the gang parted with Dorothy and returned to the guild. I see. Good work, all of you. Society of Ouroboros. To be honest, I only half believed Cassius when he told me about a secret society up to no good, but... Oh, here's the reward for completing the investigation. Sure didn't expect it to turn out like this, though. I'll have the results forwarded to Brigadier General Bright and the rest of the army immediately. I get the impression they're desperate for their information, too. Yeah, please do. Those chuckle nuts can make something like that hollow whatever thingy Ouroboros is capable of more than we ever dreamed of. Not to mention whipping out another gospel like it's a frickin' toy or something. The real objective seems to have been performing experiments with that new gospel. The fuss about the ghost was little more than the whim of the man in charge, really. He belonged the Phantom Thief. He called himself Enforcer Number 10. If I hazard a guess, Enforcer is probably a title for ranking agents in the society. Put money on the man we know as Lieutenant Lawrence being another one. Estelle? Yeah, I know. The Black Fang. That's what Joshua called himself the night he disappeared. Joshua was also an enforcer, I bet. I thought so. He's just like that Phantom fool. All those weirdly specialized skills he seemed to have make a lot more sense. Guessing he was hiding what he was truly capable of the whole time he was with us. Yeah, maybe... Hey, Jean? What is it? That Phantom Thief guy said the Society's plans had only just begun. I think they've got plots and stuff in motion all over the borough. Have you heard anything from the other branches? Anything weird? Nothing that stands out. I bet you're right, though. They're starting to act in the shadows all over the borough. When our little ghost fuss is over, it might be wise for you to head somewhere else. Yeah, good thinking. I suppose any other branches need help in Gransel? I guess the Zeiss branch, sort of. Their standby, Gundalf, had to head to Gransel. Sounds like they're fairly undermanned at the moment. Okay then, we should head there and help him out. Will Ruan be alright though? The Bose branch is dispatching Sting to help us out in a few days. Melvin and I will be able to hold the fort until Sting gets here, I think. Oh, and once you get to Zeiss, you may want to check in with Professor Russell. May have an insight onto the new gospel you guys observed. Yeah, that's a good idea. I totally want to see Tita again anyway, so I'll probably head over to his place right away. Well then, we should head for the airship port as soon as our preparations are complete. Jean, if you would be so kind as to prepare 4 tickets for the Zeiss-bound flight. Pardon? Where do you get off taking the lead and... Hold on, 4? Well, naturally, you and Agate, and then myself and Miss Chloe here, of course. What? I thought this might come up, but you're gonna come with us? The search for Joshua is my mission as a hunter of love. Not to mention the matter of my new rival. That should be reason enough, I would think. Okay, wait. Leaving your totally freaking insanity aside for a second. Don't drag Chloe into this too, you jerk. She doesn't even what... No. Actually, I was gonna ask the same thing. Say what? This malicious, mysterious society is operating within the borders of the borough, plotting who knows what. As what I am, I simply cannot ignore what they are doing. I must act. Besides, I want to help Joshua and you, Estelle. Aw, Chloe. But your classes... This morning I sent a letter to Dean Collins stating that I will be needing a break from lessons. My exam scores are excellent anyway, and I have all the credits I need to move on to at the end of the year already. I talked to Jill and Hans about it, and they insisted I should go. What the... Dang, you don't do things halfway once you've made up your mind, huh, Chloe? I'm sorry, I suppose I am shoving myself onto you in a way. I can remain behind if you'd prefer. No, you don't. If you really want to come, I'd love to have your help. Agate, you don't mind, right? Why the hell not? Having our skill in orbital arts and that bird of hers around will help a lot after all. Thank you. Agate, Estelle, thank you. I'll give it up my all, I swear. Well, we're old friends after all. We're the Red and Blue Knights, remember? Now, let's combine our forces and find our lost princess. That's right. Yes, lead on, Red Knight. Then this would make the lone wandering prince from a nearby country here to take back the dark-haired princess even if by force. I don't get to add roles. Well, good to see that that's sorted out. In that case, though, we should classify you two as temporary assistants. That way the guild can pay expenses for you. Yes, please do. Well, I shall assist you with all my heart. Let us be off. And chapter 1 is complete. I'll probably finish up these cutscenes and I'll probably end off for the night. End a little early. Cause, yeah, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm honestly kind of okay with taking it easy. Next Monday will probably be a much longer stream than normal too, because I don't have work because it's Memorial Day. So yeah, that'll probably be the plan. And that'll more than make up for the lost time tonight. And so the feat comes to an end, but the passion it left in my heart still burns within me. My only solace is to wait in the pale moonlight for the cool breeze of the sea to still my heated blood. Sorry to make you wait. Perfect timing. You really are perfectly punctual, my friend. It would not hurt you to learn to be fashionably late, you know. Sorry, but punctual is what I am. Now, what's your report? Now, let us not be so boorish and hurry so, yes? This has been a grand evening. Allow me to savor it a little longer. Really, I'll take that as a report of, I really like them. Like, the lovely princess has stolen more of my, even more of my heart. It's a miracle I yet live, I tell you. What's more, I met a rival in the arena of beauty and aesthetics. A rival, me. I shall be quite busy these next few weeks, I think. You really are hopeless. You're welcome to pursue your hobbies, but do not let it interfere with the plan. You need not worry on that score, my friend. On that note, here, take it. Very good. So, how did your experiments go? Yes, call it a 90% success rate or so. The hologram projector can accurately project for many hundreds of cellage. The first 2 or so productions were miserable failures, I'm afraid. After the third, however, the device worked flawlessly. So, some cause for concern, but not much. It does function. Report to the professor at once. That gospel. Truly, it is far beyond contemporary technology, and I don't simply mean its ability to negate orbits. I know it was made by the 13 factories, but how exactly does it work? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not privy to the details. According to the professor, these phenomena are just the tip of a miracle. Ooh, so it is the stuff of miracles, is it? Miracles are the providence of she who dwells above alone. What does he mean, I wonder? Regardless, a few more experiments should make the potential of the Gospels clearer. With that... Oh, you've had a number of unexpected actors coming onto stage this night. How shall this cameo end, I wonder? That's up to how our hidden mouse responds. Indeed. Come now, mouse, cry for us. Well, hey! I'm not sure who that little mouse is, but your life is spared, it seems. Thank Idios for your life, rodent. I actually don't remember who this is. Who the mouse is. Bring on the beer. Ugh, I can't drink no more. God damn it, I coulda. Those boys. Those poor boys. Oh, it's Kevin. That makes sense, actually. Oh, okay. Thank you, Idios, Saints, and anyone else. I'm forgetting for saving your humble servant. Like I need to be told to give praise to the goddess. Not monsters, though. So those are the enforcers of Ouroboros, huh? Okay, we're off to Zeiss. Anyone have anything else they want to do before we go? Nah, I don't think so. Unless you can think of anything, let's book. I can think of one more piece of business. Where did Miss Dorothy go? She disappeared quite suddenly, and I'm curious as to where she could have gone. I think she went to go see Neil in the hotel. That's a good point. I think we should go say hi and thanks before we leave Ruan. Yes, I think so too. We owe Dorothy our lives, really. I wanted to say goodbye to Matron Teresa and the children before we left as well, but I tried calling them from the guild a minute ago, and I think they're out. I want to say goodbye too. Hey, we can write them a letter when we get to Zeiss. I'll get a kick out of it. Worst comes to worst, ain't too hard to get back here. Yes, that's true. I'll write them then. Hey, we'll write them. I want in too. Well, come, my friends, let us away. The pulsing heart of the Orbital Revolution and the seat of geniuses. Alright, let me check the board because I want to see if there are new requests. Oh, I missed this. Yeah, I totally missed that. Okay, that's fine. It's not like a super important one. It's like a little bit of character development, but not very much. So that's fine. Monster, gamblers. Okay. That's fine. Alright, I'll honestly probably just skip those. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. If this was the first playthrough, I'd definitely do them, but yeah, no. Okay, go ahead and save there. That's gonna be good for tonight, I think. Alright, cool. That's chapter 1 done, so we can start off tomorrow with not tomorrow. Next Monday with chapter 2. And then we can see where to go from there. Well, yeah. Let me center justify all of this. on the spreadsheet. Okay. Let me expand this field a bit so that I can put full names. And then last known position for Blue Blanc is Ruan. Alright, cool. I can go ahead and save that, close it, and we're good. Alright, is anyone live? Let me see. No one is live. Alright, well, I guess that's fine. Alright, well, that's okay. Alright, that's gonna be it for me for tonight, though. We'll be back on Friday. We're gonna be playing some more Final Fantasy XIV. Going back through more main story. Just got done with all the Doma stuff in that, so we should be heading back to Girabanya. And hopefully finishing the expansion soon. We actually might be able to do it this weekend if we get through it quick enough. We'll see. I don't know. That'd be cool if we could before I leave on Wednesday. That would be pretty sick. But anyways, yeah. I will see you all Wednesday for that. And then yeah, in the meantime, I will see you guys around. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.